Good morning to everybody, both physically in the room and also virtually online. Welcome to the third Tech for Good Summit coming to you live from sunny Glasgow. And normally that phrase, sunny Glasgow, is said with a heavy irony, but today it is actually genuinely a beautiful day outside. The sun is shining, and thank you for so many of you joining both in person and online. We have got an incredible day lined up, and I'm going to come back on the stage in a few minutes and talk you through the structure of the day, how it's going to work, who you're going to hear from. But before I do, we are in an incredible venue here today in Barclays in Glasgow. The office opened just through the lockdown. And I'm delighted to introduce you to Niketa Malhotra, who is the CIO for Credit Risk for Barclays, who's going to give a little bit of a welcome to the day. So Niketa, please come and join the stage. Round of applause.
The sun is shining, makes our campus look even more beautiful. Tech for Good is something that personally I feel very strongly about. I was just talking to a number of you here. I joined Barclays 6 months ago from JP Morgan, and I was deeply involved as a mentor there for the Code for Good, which is exactly a similar concept. When we were driving over this morning, I dropped my children to school before I come to work, and they were asking me about my day. I was telling them all about, the Scottish Tech Army and, Tech for Good and what we plan to do here. I'm sure I'm loud enough. And what we plan to do here. But so after they heard me and asked me like a zillion questions, they said, "Mom, you must absolutely, there's no time to wee blether on. Please be quiet and let people get on with it." And that's exactly what I'm going to do. So I'm going to hand back to Graham. You folks have a brilliant day. Please enjoy our beautiful campus. We are so delighted to have you all here. Have a lovely day, all of you. Have some fun while you're at it. And let's make today count. See you, folks.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, Niketa. And thank you to Barclays for allowing us to use their fantastic venue to host today's Tech for Good Summit from as well. Thanks also to our two main sponsors for today. We have Glasgow City Council and Zebra Growth. So a massive thanks to both. In fact, big round of applause to them for sponsoring today. Without them, days like today just couldn't happen, so really appreciate it. And thank you to everybody who's joined in as well. This is really a community, it's a movement, and you're going to hear a lot about this today. So it's April the 20th, and I was in the Uber this morning on the way to the train station in Edinburgh, very early, I won't tell you what time, and I heard that it was a National High Five Day today. Who'd have thought it, right? So but there's also a number of other national days, and you're probably like me, every day there's a national something day. So I actually on the train researched it a little bit. And randomly today is National Pizza Cake Day, Cheddar Chips Day, not just cheesy chips, cheddar chips, Chinese Language Day, Pineapple Upside Down Cake Day, but, and I don't know if this has been planned, so I'm looking at Alistair, I'm looking at Kirsty, but it is also International Volunteer Recognition Day. How ironic is that, right? So round of applause, that's great, isn't it? So was that planned? Well, exactly, there we go. So I thought that's just a beautiful bit of coincidence, but it is International Recognition Day for volunteers. And today, is largely about the contribution that volunteers make. And that is one key element of today's proceedings. This is probably the most important conference you'll attend this year, right? There's lots of amazing conferences out there, but in terms of importance, this day is dedicated for the Tech for Good movement, right? And it is something that's gathered a huge amount of momentum. We all know that the technology gap is growing. New innovation, unfortunately, sometimes means that the gap can grow between the haves and the have-nots. But also, I believe, and I think we all believe, that technology has got the opportunity to close that gap, and it's about how we harness that to make this happen. And that's what today really is all about. And this agenda that we've got together today really is about how we can come together, share experiences, share what's already happening, be inspired to be able to go and create more change. So the theme for today, you may have seen on some of the promotions, is come ready to listen, leave ready to act. Which I think is a brilliant theme, and the agenda and the speakers and the panelists is all curated around that exact thing. Come ready to listen, leave ready to act. So I can see that you're all ready to listen, and hopefully everybody dialing in is also ready to listen. I guarantee you will leave ready to act on the basis of today's agenda. So I'm going to kind of run through a little bit of what's happening today. We're going to start off today in a few minutes with an opening session from Alistair Forbes, who obviously is one of the co-founders of the Scottish Tech Army, which is where this all began. We'll talk a little bit more about Alistair in a minute. We're then going to have a live keynote session with Rodri Davis. He's dialing in live from Liverpool, and he's going to be talking about technology's potential for impact on the third sector. Rodri is an author, podcaster, think tank creator, all with a philanthropic slant. So really looking forward to the first keynote of the day with Rodri. We're then going to end today with BBC's innovation correspondent Laura Goodwin interviewing Catherine Baddeley, who's Cisco's head of CSR for UK and Ireland, and that's all talking about tech for good at scale. Interestingly, Cisco set a target to positively impact 1 billion lives by 2025 through tech for good, and they are well on the way to achieving that. So that is a session not to be missed, and a brilliant bit of insight as to how tech for good really can grow at scale. We've got panel discussions throughout the day, and throughout the day we'll be giving you instructions as to how to attend those different panel sessions. Watching online, you will get the choice of different panel sessions at different points of the day. We're going to talk about skilled volunteering, so the opportunity for business and also for the third sector. We're going to talk about open data and the importance of that, because that is critical for tech for good movement. We're going to be talking about creating a framework for tech for good and how businesses can harness that framework. We're going to be talking about creating equality of opportunity and digital poverty, which is obviously a very, very key topic. We're going to be hearing from some experts talking about that. We're going to be talking about federated organisations and the concept of this. How do we scale that for the third sector? And then we've got our Tech for Good ambassadors also coming together to talk about cross-sector collaboration, because it's not just about siloed thinking within sector, it's actually some of the great innovation is coming from different businesses, either competitive businesses in the same sector or businesses from cross-sector collaborating together to create positive change. So we have got a whole host of businesses joining us today contributing to these sessions. We've got Barclays, Eagle Lab, Barclays, Inspiring Scotland, Pro Bono Economics and Digital, Scottish Tech Army, Data Lab, University of Edinburgh, Open Data Scotland, Data for Children, UNICEF, Nottingham Trent University, Enable Scotland, Microsoft, Cora Foundation, Nominet, Robert Gordon University, Sky, Microsoft, Accenture, Currys, End Youth Homelessness, Trussell Trust, Citizens Advice, JP Morgan, the Glasgow Caledonian University, Forit, Hymans Robertson Foundation. I'm running out of breath. There's a huge amount of businesses that are involved in today's session. So thank you to everybody who's got involved, who is going to be involved, and who will be involved after today as we move forward.